Hi all, this is Karen. Welcome to a special Monday Makes Mother's Day. For the next couple of weeks leading up until Mother's Day, I'm going to be making special little gifts that you can make for your mother or for someone special in your life. Okay, today's is a candle box and it's been decorated with the Oh So Succulents dies and stamps and whatnot. Absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, they decided not to keep this in the new catalogue, which is such a mistake. The papers, the dies, the stamps, everything is just wonderful, and it's sold so well. So if you want to get your hands on this before it goes out, click on the link below for my blog and or for the items in my shop down below, and it'll take you straight there and you can buy your own before they run out. Now I'll turn this very carefully sideways. As you can see, I've heat embossed the side just for a little bit of added interest. And what's inside this box, you may ask? Whoops, one of these, a Wickety Wax candle. This one is Skittles. And if you've ever opened a fresh pack of Skittles and the scent that you get from it, that's it. Oh, it is gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Hayley, my girlfriend, makes Wickety Wax candles and she does a fantastic job. She's got so many different choices. If you haven't had a Wickety Wax candle, then you just haven't had the scented candles. Down below in the description bar you will find a link to her Facebook page. Do yourself a favour and go and order one of her candles or one of her melts. She's got the evaporative oils as well. I've got one hanging in my car which is frangipani, and it is heavenly. Every time I get in the car it smells so fresh and fragrant now. And I've also got a Sex on the Beach oil, I don't know, I think they're called diffusers. I've got one of those hanging on my bedpost, so my whole room smells absolutely beautiful. Okay, enough chatter. Go and visit Wickety Wax down below and we'll get on for making our box for this. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, with everything we need. To make this box, we need a piece of cardstock which is squared by 8.5 by 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches. Okay, before we do anything else, I'm going to bring in my powder bag and I'm going to give this piece of sweet sugar plum a really good coating of the powder bag to make sure I'm not going to get any of the embossing powder sticking where I don't want it. Okay, so that's well and truly coated. Bring in the Versamark, and I'm using the largest succulent out of the Oh So Succulent, which is this one here, the Oh So Succulent stamp set. Now this is on the retired list. If you want to buy this and the die pieces which I'll be using to make the flower on top, if you buy them before the 31st of May, you'll be able to get them as a bundle and save 10% on the purchase price. However, they are on the retiring list. They may sell out before, so it's only as and until stocks last. So if you want them, get in quick. Okay, so we're just going to, whoops, cover this piece. Now I'm doing it randomly, but you can see there is a slight pattern to the way that I'm stamping. Okay. Oh, that one didn't stamp very well, and I sort of jiggled that, but it's not going to matter because half of this is going to actually be hidden. So there we go, we've finished with the stamping, so I'll pop those aside and I'll come in with my embossing powder and a spare sheet of paper to catch anything that might fall outside of the box. So we'll sprinkle that all over, and then what I'm going to do is just curve that in, give it a tap. Okay, that's that corner done. corner done. And one more corner to do. I've just got a little bit that's... There we go. This is where I've misstamped. As I said, it's not really going to make any difference. It's only to give a little bit of a view of the flowers just at the either side of the box. So get rid of the rest of that powder. The powder goes everywhere. Okay, pop that away before I bring out my heat gun. Now I'll fast forward through this so that you don't have to listen to the sound. Okay, just get rid of everything that's sticking on here. There, all the dust's gone now. Bring this back in, and now we're going to bring in our gift box punch board. Now this is also on the retiring list. If you don't have one, they're handy to have around for anything that you might have loose, like if you want to give ties or baby booties or something and you want to gift box them really nicely. You can do some boxes with the envelope punch board, but this is specifically for making boxes and it is ideal. Okay, now on here, even though it hasn't got an 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch mentioned on here, I know I want my box to be 3¼ inches by 3¼ inches by 2¼ inches. Now, I don't know, I'm going to try and see if I can get this to focus. Here, it's got 3.25, 3.25, and all it's got is 1¾ inches or 2½ inches. I want that sort of midway between the two, so I'm going to actually, that's why instead of having an 8 by 8 or a 9 by 9, I've done an 8.5 by 8.5. But I'm going to score it as though it was the 9 by 9 piece, so I'm actually scoring it at the large. So score horizontally and vertically and give it a punch. Turn it round, line it back up at the L here, punch, and then horizontal and vertical. Spin it round again, back at large, horizontal, vertical, once more at the large, punch, horizontal and vertical. Then flip the paper over, line it back up at the large and just punch. You don't need to score, you just need to punch. And one more and we'll be done. Okay, so there we go. So we can pop that. We can't pop that aside yet because we still have to do the diagonal. And what I've got to do, I know that the meeting point is there. So if I bring that up, I know that I've got to score. So if we move this part to halfway between the medium and the large, I should be able to score medium straight down there. Turn it round halfway between the medium and the large over here, and then score down with the medium there, and do that on all 4 sides. And you need this diagonal score just so the box folds nicely. Now before we get rid of the box, we're going to flip it round the other way and we're going to stick our corners in and give them a punch. And as you can see, it gives a nice little notch in there and it rounds the edge of the corner. So do that on all 4 corners. And our box, believe it or not, is actually finished. All we've got to do is come in and score just on these straight sides. Don't need to worry about the diagonal, they will collapse in on their own. So one more, and just a small one there. And then all you need to do is just tell the diagonals where to fold. So you just push the two corners in. There we go. Now I'll bring in our candle, and that fits neatly right in the middle. So we bring our sides over and just slip the two corners together. Might have to fight a little with the outer one for a moment, because it's got a little bit further to go. Doesn't want to, but we will make it, and it will fit. It's just being a pain. It even did that on the other box, so what I did was put the not so nice looking ones. You unfold them. See how they're much nicer? There we go. So slide those two in like that. Bring these two round, and these ones should actually slip in quite okay. See? So there we go. There's the outside of the box. Now I have a piece of the Succulents Designer Series paper, which unfortunately is all going out. That's it. We won't see it anymore. So if you really like this paper, get in and buy it now. Okay, so we'll flip this box upside down, pop that fairly close to the middle, and then bring the papers up and just give them a light creasing with your fingers. Okay, bring this one up, give it a crease, bring this round and give it another crease. And then all you have to do is pop a little bit of fast fuse on that side and a little bit of fast fuse just on there, and then when it overlaps it'll seal quite nicely. So just make sure it's straight, and there we go. So we've got a nice sleeve that will slide out. It will. It will slide out. It takes a bit of teasing, but at least you know you've got a good seal. And as I said, because it's... There we go. See, it slips out quite nicely, and you can slide it back in. Now, we're going to make the top of the box. This beautiful floral on the top is really easy to make. Now, I do have somewhere around here a little bowl that's got all of my pre-cut succulents in. I'll be right back. Ah, there it is. Off to the side. Okay, now the only part that I still have to cut is the green piece, so I will bring in a scrap. It's around here somewhere. We have our scrap of old olive and our succulent framelets, and we're going to use the largest of the flower dies out of the succulents. Pop that on there. I've got my magnetic plate there, then a cutting board, and then another one over the top. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we now have all of our succulent pieces die cut. These are stunning, and since I really don't know why they're getting rid of these, because they're getting rid of our flower punches as well, and these make beautiful florals. Okay, so I'll bring these in, and I've also got my sweet sugar plum all over my fingers. So what I'm going to do is just give each of these a nice light flicking or sponging around the edges, just to give the edges some colour. One more, yes, I'm actually putting some of the sweet sugar plum just on the end of the old olive, so that it ties in to some extent. There we go, and just draw a little bit of it around the edges like so. Pop the lid on that. Just got to put my fan on, it's getting a bit warm in here. Okay, and then all you need to do, hold these very carefully so that you don't actually rip the petals off, but curl each of the petals with your bone folder. Okay, bring our box back in, and because of the way the box is made, there's no back, there's no front, there's just a top and a bottom. Okay, so we bring this in, and then I'm going to bring in, to start off with, I'm just going to pop a couple of glue dots on the leaf, on the bottom one. And then we bring in, now what have I done with my dimensionals? Oh, I do have some over here. So bring in the dimensionals and just pop one in the centre. Take the backing off, and then as you pop it in, just curling the leaves up a little bit more, offset it so that the green of the leaves pops up. Bring the next piece in, dimensional in the middle, and this gives a little bit of depth to the flowers. Once again, offset the petals. The third one, oh, I didn't take the backing off it. I was wondering why the flower kept slipping and sliding. Okay, don't forget to offset the petals as you put it down. And then for these last ones, I'm just going to pop a glue dot onto the centre of each one, offset the petals as I lay it down there, and then one more, and I'll actually do it this way with this one. So bring that over, pop that on, and then offset the petals again like so. Just flick those up again like so. There we go. And then that's going to sit in there, but I'm going to actually pop that onto my dimensional in the middle, and it, as you can see, it really does give it the look of a proper succulent. How is that? Absolutely beautiful. And to top it off, if I can see where I've put the box, we're going to bring in one of the big gems and pop that in the middle like that, and that just sets it off. I think that looks stunning. One more thing before we go. I have a Happy Mother's Day, which is also part of the Succulents stamp set. Do that with some of the Sweet Sugar Plum. Bring in my window punch, and it just, as you can see, it just fits in there. I've got a little bit chopped off on the Y, and all I need is just one. There they are. Okay, here we go. Another piece of dimensional, just to go on the back of the sentiment, like so. And then just offset that slightly so that it gives it a little bit of a border. If you could see what's around my desk at the moment, I have got stuff everywhere surrounding this little work area. There we go, and we just pop that there. Actually, I might pop that on the corner, like so. move all of this stuff off to the side, get rid of that. So this is the one we started off with, and this is the one we've just made, and I hope you'll agree they're absolutely stunning boxes. You can see from the side, even the sides have got a little bit of decoration on. But I hope you've enjoyed today's Mother's Day, Mum Day make, and you'll join me for the next 2 weeks for one. Okay, have a great week. See you later.